L-am întâlnit pe șeicul Omar Bakri în Liban, într-un oraș situat în apropierea graniței cu Siria. La o primă vedere pare un simplu tată grijuliu. Îmbrăcat în stil occidental, șeicul ni-l prezintă pe cel mai mic fiu al său, Osama. L-a botezat așa pentru că s-a născut exact în ziua în care americanii au anunțat lichidarea lui Bin Laden. Bakri este foarte cunoscut în Marea Britanie, unde gruparea înființată de el, Al-Muhajirun, imigranții, a fost considerată teroristă și a fost interzisă. Potrivit presei britanice, câțiva membri ai acestei grupări au fost implicați în atacurile de la Londra.
Is banned as a matter of media, but as a matter of obligations, Al-Muhajirun is an Islamic movement. You cannot ban an Islamic movement because you're going to ban the Islamic call, and the call will survive. I used to be members of the Sharia Council in Britain, which is really more orientated to Al-Qaeda in Europe, Abu Hafs, group. In Lebanon here, there's no Qaeda, there's no so-called Al-Nusra front, but there is a lot of people, they love Al-Qaeda, they love Jabhat al-Nusra. Honestly, I don't know anything except one thing. Once upon a time, Romania was a Muslim land. And there's a lot of people, their origins in Romania are Muslims. Their own names still close to Muslims, like Indonesia, like Andalus, like Spain. Their own presence in Afghanistan, in the Gulf area. They're putting themselves in direct conflict with Muslims and the nation of Islam around the world. They should withdraw their own forces, and not to participate in any forces is considered to be military actions against Muslims. If you are really want to be safe from any potential to become under attack, do not really occupy Muslim land, do not attack Muslim land. If the Romanian forces went all the way to Afghanistan or to Iraq or to any countries and carry weapons and fight, obviously they are not going to Afghanistan to give people ice cream. I don't think, Romanian forces coming all the way to the Gulf to give people ice cream. They give people bomb, they come to fight. So that I said, if you keep away from fighting Muslims, Romania will be the land of God, kingdom of God, and the people up to them to follow Jesus, Moses, or Abraham, or Muhammad, or to follow Obama or your own prime ministers. East Europe is a Muslim land. Bulgaria, Romania, once upon a time was Muslim land, and it was really run by Islam. Therefore, it is a matter of it's a matter of convictions, and people have duties. The Muslims is to convey Islam to the Romanian, so they may be considered to embrace Islam. I used to have brothers live in Romania once upon a time. But maybe I never saw him for 30 years.
You had a brother?
I think. But for 30 years I never saw him. 3-0. Once, maybe 10 years ago, we tried to communicate, but I wasn't happy with his job because I'm Islamist, and I thought his job is not Islamic.
What job?
I think he was the drivers of one embassies. And this is not acceptable to be a drivers for ambassadors, Islamically. Okay, so I found it is very odd.
În estul Europei, șeicul Omar Bakri și-a câștigat notorietatea după atacul de la Burgas, când a amenințat cu atentate România și Bulgaria. Șefii SIE și SRI l-au prezentat pe clericul sunit drept o amenințare reală la adresa României.
If it's Hezbollah behind that or not, I am not going to feel sorry for Israelis, because I'm anti-Israelis wherever they are. I believe as a cancer, Israel should be removed now from the regions. Having I said that, I'm not against them because they are a Jew, because they are occupiers, whether they are a Jew or a Christian or Russian. As you know, I support the Mujahideen in Chechnya against Russian. I support the Mujahideen in Kashmir against Hindus. I support the Mujahideen in East Turkestan, against the Buddhists. I support the Mujahideen as well in Palestine against the Israelis.
După ce a trăit peste 20 de ani în Occident, în 2005 Omar Bakri a părăsit Marea Britanie, s-a stabilit în Liban. În 2010 a fost condamnat la închisoare pe viață pentru terorism. Fără explicații a fost însă imediat eliberat. Omar Bakri continuă să fie în contact prin internet cu miile de discipoli din Occident.
I participate in most demonstrations in Europe. West Europe, yesterday it was demonstrations outside American Embassy in London. I participate in live speech there. 3 weeks ago it was in Denmark. I participate in live speaks outside the French embassies and so on. So I'm still with my brothers there around the world. I got students in Australia, in Canada. I got students in France, in Britain, in Bulgaria. I got students in area like Belgium. beside, Kashmir and Kuwait.
You don't have Romania?
Romania, we don't have students in Romania, no. 9/11, it was a military operation carried by Tanzim al-Qaeda. It was really 5-star operations. It was really very powerful act of violence, act of terrorism, but the form which is praised by God. Not any violence displayed by God. Violence could be used pro-life, could be used against life. Doctor do cesarean operations, use violence, but to save life. All right, and there's somebody carry the knife to kill innocent people. This is against life. Therefore, I believe it's really 5-star act of terrorism, which is really Al-Qaeda believe is praised by God, and I think that is legitimate forms of thinking. It was against enemy targets. USA doesn't have covert securities with the Mujahideen. So it was really very powerful operations. One of the magnificent, as we said, magnificent operation carried by the magnificent 19 martyrs. From that day until today, I think Al-Qaeda is progress, the Mujahideen progress, and USA lost the war against terrorism. And I think looking around today, Al-Qaeda now in Somalia, Al-Qaeda now in Kenya, in Mali, in Nigeria, Al-Qaeda in East Turkestan, and in Middle East, in India subcontinent, in the Far East, even in Africa. I think you see Bush and Clinton and Bush and Obama are losers. Suicide attack is really an operation. It's called jihadi operation, self-sacrifice operations, where the man he offered his life and his properties for the sake of God to grant him heaven. And that in Quran, in Islam, legitimate. So that is offer from God. Therefore, nothing called suicide bombing. It's not intihariya, istishhadiyya, means self-sacrifice operations. So this is the highest form of jihad. During fightings, people will be caught in the targets. They will never be the targets. In the West, you call them collateral damage. That collateral damage, it happened. Sometimes you may hit a target and by mistake women and children will be killed.
Sheikul Omar Bakri susține că are dușmani mulți și puternici, este însă convins că până la urmă visul său se va împlini.
In this country, maybe the enemy for me is just Hezbollah and Shia and Basis and the securities and the police and armies, Lebanese army. They are, enemy for me. But maybe I don't fight them because I'm weak. I believe in establishing pan-Islamic state, the caliphate system. That is really what I believe Muslims should do. It's not about just to establish mosque here and there. It's not about to liberate Romania and that's it. It's about to see the Islamic flag of Islam or the black flag of Islam. It is to be flying all over the world, over the White House and the Kremlins and even the Buckingham Palace.